Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Tai Chi in the Park with me, Lee Fu, Director of Four Dragons Tai Chi. And we are going to be practicing our circle walking again today. And the palm that we're going to be practicing with our circle walking is what I like to call the mountain palm. And so the imagery of the mountain is a symbol of stillness. However, stillness isn't just about being still and in stagnation, but the varying degrees of stillness, from stillness into movement, and how stillness leads us into right action and right movement. So that's what we're going to be cultivating today. So clear your space for circle walking and be sure to grab an object and place it in the center of your circle, whether it's a rock or whatever object you have at home that's convenient for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Spreading your feet about shoulder width distance apart, softening the knees. And let's start with 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Imagining that you are the mountain. Your head is the peak. Your feet are the base of the mountain. So standing tall, strong, steady like the mountain. And as we exhale, bringing one hand over the other, placing your hands below the navel on the lower abdomen, known as the energetic dantian. Knees are softly bent, tailbone reaching down, navel resting back towards the spine. Spine is lifting up. The crown is lifting, shoulders relaxed, and letting all of those little tiny internal movements and adjustments happen as you settle into your mountain stance. And let's take some deep breaths down into the space behind your hands. Slowing down the breath, feeling the breath below the navel, expanding out in all directions, encompassing the base of the mountain, the circumference. So feeling the lower back expand as well as the belly. Breathing into the side hips. And notice how you relax more and more with each breath naturally. Turning the gaze inward and down. And just noticing how we are standing as still as we can, but without rigidity. We're standing in between strength and flexibility. So the body is open and flexible, expandable. But it is also steady and strong. And now with our breath, feel the breath expanding from the lower dantian down into the legs, up into the arms, opening up the body from the inside out. Working things a little differently than we normally do with our warm-up. and really connecting to our energetic body through the breath. And just notice where the breath is wanting to move. Noticing where there's tension, where that tension is causing a slowing of the flow of energy in the body. Maybe it's around the tailbone or the sacrum. Maybe it's somewhere in the lower back, or a shoulder, or a knee, or a hip. And just allow that to let go and sink down. And let's release that practice with 3 deep breaths. Inhale, pulling down the heavens. So as the mountain, we reach up into the sky, but still steady on the earth. In fact, the mountain is simply an extension of the earth. One more. All right, and let's loosen up some of the joints here before we get started with our circle walking. Shift your weight and rotate the ankle, massaging the ball of the foot, and reverse. And transfer your weight over to the other side. And repeat with your circles, inward and outward circles of the ankle. And bring your feet together. Bend those knees softly. Rotate the knees around the feet. And reverse. And come up to standing. Hands on the hips. Circle the hips. And reverse. And relaxing the arms down by your side, circling the hands to open up the wrists. And reverse. And rolling the shoulders up and back. Notice how the breath wants to come in as we move those shoulders. We open the lungs. All right, and let's do a little bit of twisting to open up the spine, hands out in front, drawing back, one hand coming in towards the shoulder socket, and then letting the arm extend back, coming back to center and to the other side. Easing our way into the twist, the knees and hips stay forward. And we start by reaching back about 70% of our range of motion. And then we work our way towards 100. We might get to 100 today. We might come close. We might stay closer to 70%, depending on what's going on with our body today, where our energy is at. But the idea is not to force the twist, but just allow the twist to open, allow the body to unfold. Take a deep breath in and release. And once you start to get the hang of it, you can go a little bit more smoothly and quickly, but at a nice steady pace. All right, and 2 more. And coming back to center, release the arms down, deep breath in. And exhale. All right, now let's begin our circle walking. So take a few steps behind the center of your circle, wherever your object is, about 4 or 5 steps or however much room you have. And we're going to start with our heels together and our toes turned out at 45-degree angles. Palms are open. Chest is neutral. Crown of the head is lifting. Eyes gazing up towards the heavens, starting in our Wuji posture. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, step out to the right. Palms up, facing the heavens. And then the left foot hooks. Left hand comes underneath the right. Shift your weight into the right. And the mountain palm is going to be right arm up, and it's spiraling up. Fingertip pointing up towards the heaven. The left hand in towards the circle, pointing down at the center of your circle. Your left foot is turned out at a 45-degree angle. All the weight is in the right leg. Left leg is relaxed. Then we start our mud stepping. Shift the weight forward. Outside foot hooks in, sliding over the ground, reaching with the ball of the foot, dropping the heel. Inside foot, swing step, toes turn out. And continue. Shifting the weight, swing step, hook step. Gazing down, your pointer finger towards the center of your circle. Tailbone reaching down. Navel resting back towards the spine. And we'll do 2 circles around the center before we change directions. And once we feel comfortable in this palm and in our mud stepping, we can then start to hold the imagery of the mountain. The hand above the head representing the peak. The lowered hand representing the base. All right, and now we're going to change directions. So our right foot's going to come out, our left foot turns on the ball of the foot, and our top hand comes straight down. We shift to the right, turn out, push to the left. Hands making the T shape. Right foot hooks, right hand under left. Shift to the left, open up towards the circle. Left hand goes up, right hand goes down. And we begin our circle walking in the other direction. Let your shoulders relax and extend. Imagining that the shoulders are floating. Feeling strong and steady in the lower body. Feeling open and flexible in the upper body. Practicing inner stillness within movement. And through that inner stillness, we know when to stop. So here we're going to change directions. We're going to stop right where we mean to. Top hand comes down. Shift to the left, open up to the right. Shift right and push. Left foot hooks. Open up. Right arm up, left arm down. Circle walk. Two circles, and then we'll change direction. And as we cultivate the mountain, we test our stillness while in action. How still can we be while moving? When do we need to stop action and change directions? When do we need to keep going? When is action appropriate? When is inaction or stillness more appropriate? And how can we make stillness and movement one in the same? Experiencing the paradox of opposites. Coming around, circling around to your starting point. We have our swing step, our inside step, and then the outside foot comes in to stop us. Left hand down, open up to the right, push out to the right, hook step with the left, open up, palm change, changing directions. And now each time you come to your starting point, we're going to change directions. Top hand becomes the bottom hand. Coming back to our starting point. Oop. Changing directions. Staying unmovable like the mountain. Amongst all of the movement. Transition, staying steady through that transition. Helps us to stay steady through the transitions of our lives, the transitions of the seasons. And just working your way around the circle. Each time you come to your starting point, you transition. Each time you transition, you get better and better. Feeling majestic like the mountain. And then just holding the imagery and letting go of the words. Just letting the imagery speak to you. As you walk your circle. And keep transitioning. Spiraling around your mountain. And just allowing the practice to move through you. Allowing the practice to do you instead of you doing the practice. And let's go one more time around our circle before we close out our practice. And now coming back to our center point, crossing one hand over the other. And let's step back into our starting position, opening up to heaven and earth, being that mountain in between. Coming into that space of not two, where heaven and earth, yin and yang, become one. Just standing in this open stance. Feeling the practice, the cultivation of the mountain. And relax for just a moment. Let's end with our quick standing meditation. And today we're going to have a heart-centered meditation, taking one hand to the heart, maybe another hand on top if you like. Coming to the middle ground, the space between heaven and earth, the heart center. Just breathing in and out through the center of the chest. And this is all it takes, 2 minutes a day to connect to yourself. And the more connected we are within, the more we can connect with those around us in deeper and more meaningful ways. Giving ourselves what we need and giving our needs to those around us. And opening your eyes if you happen to close them. And just let some of that energy from the heart center move down below the navel into the lower dantian. Taking a deep breath here. Opening up the lower dantian, allowing it to receive that heart energy. And let's close with 3 deep breaths. Inhale the arms up. Feeling even steadier than before. And there's a saying, be steady like the mountain, yet flowing like the river. And let's close out our practice with that. Steady, yet flowing. Thank you all so much for practicing with me here today. For those of you who are here at Evelyn's Park, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you at home, thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you will join us again next week for more circle walking practice. And you can follow us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, stay safe, take care, Dao An. Wishing you peace on your path.